Hi, my name is Michelle. I'm glad to see you today.
Hi, Michelle.
I just want to explain to you that whatever we talk about here today is going to be confidential. Okay, and I want to explain to you that as we're speaking, I'm going to take some notes. And I take notes to assess you later to get you the help that you need.
Okay.
Okay, so Ben, what brought you here today?
I guess a couple things. I have a problem with heroin, with a couple other things that I do in my life, and kind of ending up homeless here soon, and I don't really have any other place to go, so I need something. I need some type of help.
Okay, what type of help are you trying to seek? Housing, or are you trying to seek help for your addiction?
Both would be preferred, but more or less the addiction side of it.
Okay. Have you ever been in a treatment program for drug or alcohol addiction before?
Yes.
Okay, what kind of treatment have you been in before?
I've been to two detoxes.
2 detoxes?
Yes.
Okay.
And the one time I did stay for rehab.
Okay, and how long were you in rehab?
28 days.
28 days? Okay, and were you detoxing from heroin both of these times?
Yes.
So your primary drug would be the use of heroin?
Yes.
Okay, what led up to the use of heroin? Were you taking prescription pain medicine first?
Yes. It all began long ago, like 10, 15 years ago. It all began with pills.
Okay, can you just give me a brief history of what you think brought this on?
Well, the reality, when I was roughly 12 years old, I told my parents that I smoked weed and they couldn't do anything about it. Okay. So when my dad heard that, he handed me some money and I went and got him a bag of weed. And when I came home with that bag and gave it to him, he handed me a handful of pain pills and actually benzodiazepines too. So that's literally when it all began. It was accepted by my parents. They said, let's do this together since you have the connection. And then sooner or later, about the age of 15, I started to get into the cocaine, into the uppers, because my mom was more into the uppers.
Okay.
So that led into just a multitude of many drugs going in and out of my household, which gave me the ability to get free drugs too.
Okay, so both parents were using drugs, and then whenever you started to get high, they encouraged it, or they...
Yeah, basically. I mean, they would give me money to get them drugs because I knew the people that had them. So it was an influence in my behalf, and I felt as if it was okay at such a young age. I didn't know the difference between wrong and right.
Right.
Especially if they tell me it's cool, I'm going to do it.
Right, I understand. Okay. Have you ever had any period of clean time? And you said you were in 2 detoxes in rehab for 28 days?
No, I actually never.
Never.
I got out of rehab and I got high the day out both times. I actually left detox early, the first one, to go home to get high.
Okay, why do you think you left detox?
Because I didn't want to detox. I mean, I got I got away for a moment, but then I figured out a way to get more money when I got back home and I had a place to go, so then I just wanted to get out of there.
Okay, so you almost had a little bit of a reprieve and you felt better, and you don't feel like you had any recovery behind you at that point?
I didn't even know.
You still wanted to get high?
Yeah, I don't even really know what recovery is.
Okay.
I don't know what it's like to feel free.
Okay, what do you think would have possibly could have helped you stay clean when you left rehab? Did you say you were in 28-day rehab?
Yes.
And you completed the 28 days?
I did.
So you actually did have 28 days of clean time?
Correct.
Okay. And then what do you think helped you remain sober during that time?
Well, I mean, obviously being in rehab, I had no choice, I was only isolated. I was in a dole unit too, so I was also dealing with my mental issues at the same time of the addiction aspect. So there was a lot that needed to be handled with that.
Okay.
But, I mean, being removed, it felt wonderful, and I was able to, be free, from the drugs for a moment, but honestly, I wasn't done. I didn't want to be done. I didn't feel the way I feel now.
Okay, I was going to ask you, the next question would have been, do you do you have a family history of addiction? But you already told me that both your mom and dad were getting high. Are they still currently getting high?
Yes.
They are both getting high?
Yep.
Okay, do you have any other further history, family history of drug use, drug addiction?
My mom's mother is an alcoholic. Besides that, not really. Mm-mm.
No? Okay. Okay, and do you currently have any legal problems because of this?
I do.
Okay, what kind of problems do you have right now?
I'm waiting on retail theft to come through, and also waiting for, I want to say it's like 2 paraphernalia charges coming through that I haven't actually gotten settled, and I have many more prior to that of both. So I've had a lot of legal issues with this.
Okay, then what do you want to change about your current situation besides maintaining sobriety or getting sober, clean and sober? What other? Wait, that one sucked. So he's gonna have to edit that one. Okay, what do you want to change about your current situation?
Well, now that I have my second child, I lost my first child through active addiction. I didn't care for him whatsoever, and now that I have a second one, that's what brought me here kind of today. Is I want to be a father to my daughter, and I'm on the brink of losing her. So whatever it takes for me to have the ability to be a good father, to be someone with a job, so that I can care for her. I mean, that's really what's brought me here today, and my motivation.
Are you currently active in her life right now?
To a degree, not as much as a normal father would be, though.
Okay. Okay, of your the charges that you have pending, the retail theft and the paraphernalia charges, are these charges that could potentially put you in prison?
If the retail is a felony, maybe. I mean, I have a couple retails, but I don't know if it's going to be a felony or not, so it's possible. This is my 4th retail.
Oh, it's your 4th retail?
Yeah, so.
Okay. Okay, and then, what are some goals you have for your future? What would you like to get out of coming to see me, and then me being able to set you up with some different programs?
I would like to be able to stand on my own 2 feet, honestly. I want to have my own apartment or house or whatsoever. I want to get my kid to school, I want to get my license back so that I can get a vehicle. I want to be an accountable person. I want to be reliable. I want to get a job.
Okay, so you want to get back to life and be a productive member of society?
Yes.
Things like that? Okay. Excuse me. Is there anything else you'd like for me to know about you?
Do I have to quit benzos?
Well, we'll talk about that whenever we talk about a treatment plan for you, but typically if you're trying to get away from drugs and alcohol, you have to get away from any mind-controlling substance like that. So the answer is probably yes.
Okay.
Yes. Are you prescribed benzos?
I am.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we may have to talk to your physician about possibly putting you on something that is not an addictive drug. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so that about wraps up this assessment. I just want to thank you for coming in to see me, and we're going to work really hard together to try to come up with a plan for you, a treatment plan for you so that you can have a drug-free life and get your child back in your life, stand on your own 2 feet, get housing, get your license back, and everything like that. So, is there anything else you feel like you need to tell me?
I don't think so.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay, we're going to meet again in 1 more week. Is that okay for you?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll set up your appointment for you. I'm glad you came to see me today.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Hey, hi, I'm Michelle Engberg, and I was recording my end of interview to briefly discuss a social work related interview skill that I incorporated. And this was for the number 1 engagement interview. And, excuse me. What I did to prepare for meeting with Ben was to get some questions together about drug and alcohol, things that I thought might be important to talk about with him so that I could assess what he may need further down the line. Some of the skills that I used were I greeted Ben whenever I brought him into the office or met him. I explained that I was going to be taking some notes just so that I could use them to further assess later on what we were going to possibly do to help him with his issue with drug addiction, and possibly later on incorporate things to get his license back, help him with housing, help him reestablish a healthy relationship with his daughter, and to help with his legal issues. I had asked if he had any previous help before with any agencies like rehab or detox, and he said he has been to both detox and rehab before. The client seemed to be at ease. I explained a little bit to him at the very end about what we were going to do to the next time that we met, which would have been the second interview. I didn't really use any humor with him because I didn't find it to be appropriate at the time. I don't know really if I was supposed to try to incorporate that or not with this, but I thought the seriousness of the issues, I didn't really want to incorporate any humor with this. I did ask Ben what brought him here today. We talked about the help that he wanted to achieve from this, and that he wanted to he wants to get clean and sober and remain that way so he can become a productive member of society. And then for the second part, whenever we meet again, I plan on doing the assessment with him to collect, organize, and interpret the client data. I will do that after, before the next assignment is due, and bring up some more issues or bring up some more suggestions with Ben and see maybe if he has any different issues that he wants to discuss. So the next part of this will be for the assessment, planning, and contracting. So thank you very much, and that's the end of this first installment. Thank you.